Please welcome, to present our first OHI Courage Award, White House National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan.
Good evening. That is a very tough act to follow. I'm grateful to Mike and Andy for bringing us all together tonight and for giving me this opportunity. Here in Washington, it often feels like competition and conflict steal the headlines. But every October, you guys remind us what is truly worth celebrating: courage, conviction, commitment to our shared values. And so, to all the folks who are gathered here tonight and those who helped put on this remarkable event, I just want to say thank you. And I also want to extend my gratitude to George for reminding us of courage seen and unseen, and for sharing the courageous story of the Greek women and men who said, "Ohi, no." It's a story that bears remembering over and over, particularly as we see the lessons of history repeat themselves today. Just 8 months ago, Russia launched an unprovoked assault against Ukraine, expecting a swift surrender and a quick defeat. Putin ordered his troops to encircle Ukrainian cities, shelling towns, destroying homes. He sent a column of tanks towards the capital, expecting to topple the democratically elected government of Ukraine. And he ordered warships to the Black Sea, expecting to quickly capture the small but strategic Snake Island, which is now well known to the whole world. But Putin underestimated one key factor: the people of Ukraine. From Kharkiv to Kherson, Ukrainians fought back. In the capital, they stood strong. And on tiny Snake Island, 19 brave border guards wouldn't give up. By the time they ran out of ammunition, the island was smoldering and the temperature was dropping. The Russian warship gave them that same order that the Axis gave to the Greeks in 1940: surrender. The Ukrainians paused for a moment, and then they replied with their famous reply. I think it was something like, "Russian warship, go Ohi yourself," or something like that, at least. My point is this: outgunned and outmanned, those men and millions of other Ukrainians stood their ground. They chose to defend their freedom, and in the face of fear, they all decided to say no. And the loudest, most piercing no of all came from the leader we are honoring tonight, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Throughout these terrible months, he has united his country to preserve its freedom. He's inspired nations around the world to support this common cause. He stood up to the Russian government, and he has stood with his people, turning pain into purpose. Last winter, when Putin surrounded Ukraine's borders, trying to induce this surrender, President Zelenskyy declared, "If you attack, you will see our faces, not our backs, but our faces." Throughout the war, this Russian government has seen the courageous face of Ukraine, a people determined to defend their democracy, their liberty, their freedom, their sovereignty, their territorial integrity, a people that are defending values that unite us all. And under President Biden's leadership, the United States has been proud to stand with the Ukrainian people, not just with our words, but with our security assistance, with our financial support, with our humanitarian aid. We have worked with a diverse range of countries across the world, weaving together a coalition to help Ukrainians defend themselves, including by providing vital anti-tank, anti-air, artillery, and HIMARS systems. We've united so many countries to impose unprecedented economic costs on Russia, including sanctions that are squeezing crucial sectors of the Russian economy and the Russian military machine. And we've worked with our partners to try to deal with the global ripple effects of war, from energy supplies to food insecurity. And we have constantly, throughout all of this, taken a form of courage and resolve from President Zelenskyy. And so as Russian aggression continues every day, including this very day, we, like the Ukrainian people, will not be knocked off course. We will continue to support Ukraine for as long as it takes. The blue and yellow Ukrainian flag that now hangs in the grocery stores, the dorm rooms, the windowsills in towns and cities all across this country, in houses right around where we're sitting tonight. Americans have hung those flags because the Ukrainian people, led by a brave, principled, and determined president, remind us of the better world that we are all determined to see, a world in which conviction matters and in which courage counts, a world in which saying no to fear, to violence, and to brutality makes all the difference. And so it is very difficult to think about somebody who is more appropriately being honored for this award in the 12 years of its existence than the person who has stood athwart this Russian onslaught and said no day after day on behalf of his people, beside his people, leading his people, than President Zelenskyy. And so I am deeply honored to introduce President Zelenskyy tonight to give some remarks. But before we have the honor of hearing from him, we'd like to share a video that captures his remarkable commitment and extraordinary courage over these last 8 months. So thank you, and please join me in welcoming the video, and then, most importantly, giving it up for President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Thank you very much.